that kind of
So 05 started off with
Benoit
Benoit.
I've been really aware of that.
It starts off with Ray and Hunter.
Ray and Hunter.
I think 22 was his Styles and Nakamura.
Might be. It was 21 or 27, I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I like...
One was Edge and Randy Orton.
Yeah, I like that a whole lot more than when they just kind of toss two random people in there. You know, if it's just like Axe and, I don't know, Knobs or something. Yeah, Axe and Smash. Here comes the Axe, here comes the Smash. So Bret Hart and Seth Rollins are getting into it, and then, much to his chagrin, Ted DiBiase comes out number 3. And this is the same thing that I did the last time because I think it's a really fun idea. You've got, he backstage earlier had been trying to buy the number 30 spot. I firmly think, okay, you're getting the Tumblr, that gold Tumblr that people pick out their numbers and all, and that he's like, you know, he sees that somebody has 3 on there, and he's just like, oh, hey, what'd you get, pal? And he's just kind of like, oh, I'm happy with this pick, whatever, and then, why don't I take that number off of you? Yeah, okay, well, you know, you agree? Shake hands? Motherfucker, that's number 3 instead of number 30. So he got screwed over, and it's funny. You know, everybody's got a price. He paid a bad price for that. Sometimes your investments don't pay off. So you got Bret, opposite of Seth Rollins and Ted DiBiase. Seth Rollins is a heel in my side of things. I like heel Rollins more. And that's not looking good for Bret, because, of course, Bret is already kind of beaten down from the Shane McMahon match and everything. But thankfully, number 4 comes out, and he's got a little bit of help because it's Virgil. So Ted DiBiase's like, son of a bitch. Like, I'm number 3, and Virgil just came out. Now we got the split ring, Bret and Virgil on one side, Rollins and DiBiase on the other side. And they're fighting. Number 5 comes out, and around the number 5 spot, I always love when you see a big man. So the one-man gang comes out, not a team. I'm going with one-man gang on this one because I had the option of going with one way or the other. And DiBiase immediately goes to, hey, big man, look, I will pay for you to help fight alongside me for the rest of this thing. He kind of goes, okay, all right, you got enough money for that. So we've got Hart and Virgil, and then you've got one-man gang and DiBiase. And Rollins is, you know, slowly shifting his way towards the heel side of, okay, I think I'm going to kind of side with that side a little bit more. Mustafa Ali comes out at number 6, one more for good guys, yay. Paul London comes out at number 7. He's a good guy too. The ring is starting to fill up. So it's time to clean house, which means that number 8 comes out, and it is Kane. Adios, Mustafa Ali. Adios, Paul London. Just completely eviscerated. One of those like statement eliminations, like he, you know, when he got clotheslined by Sinski, just like tosses him the fuck out. No, you are not getting anywhere close to this Royal Rumble. And Virgil, the good guy he is, he tries to fight Kane. You know, he's trying to attack him from behind. He gets tossed out, and DiBiase goes and points at Kane. Hey, go after Bret. You gotta go after Bret. He's the biggest threat. And you start wondering, oh crap, Kane is going to be in the pocket of DiBiase as well. It's going to be Bret and nobody against Rollins and DiBiase, one-man gang, and Kane. But Kane chokes Ted DiBiase. One-man gang comes to the rescue, but one-man gang gets taken out by Kane. He's just taking out everybody. And then he gets dropkicked by entry number 9, Maven. But lightning doesn't strike twice, so Maven gets tossed out by Kane. Just one of those, like, nope, not happening. Kane's on a roll. He's going to keep this going. Entry number 10 comes out, and what a perfect draw for Ty Dillinger. I couldn't resist. I mean, come on.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, it didn't happen. I thought about him coming out at number 9 or number 11 and being pissed about it, but I have a different thing in mind. So number 10 is Ty Dillinger. Number 11 is Kenny Dykstra. Ring's starting to fill up again. You got some people that can kind of balance out Ty Dillinger's babyface, Kenny Dykstra as a heel. You're going to follow up an arrogant prick of Kenny Dykstra with the arrogant HBK, because Shawn Michaels comes out at number 12, and then followed that with the most unlucky pick possible. Mr. Perfect comes out at number 13, and he is pissed about it because he should have the perfect pick. He should have been number 30, and he's feuding with Ty Dillinger at the moment. So Ty Dillinger and Mr. Perfect go at it. That's one of those things where it's like, you know, the Royal Rumble puts somebody out there very soon afterward. The person that they're feuding with comes out, and they start going at it. You know, one of those kind of deals. Kenny Dykstra is eliminated by Shawn Michaels. Ted DiBiase gets taken out by Shawn Michaels. He can't keep this going any longer. Adios, $1 million man. So he's pissed about that, and maybe that'll lead to Shawn Michaels against Ted DiBiase in the future, or something along those lines. Number 14 comes out. It's Owen Hart. He of course goes straight after Bret because fuck you, brother. I don't want you to win more than anybody else. Number 15. Before number 15 comes out, Mr. Perfect takes out Ty Dillinger. He lasted 5 spots. It's not good enough. Number 15 comes out. It's Crush. He goes stare down Crush and Kane. Kind of those the 2 big guys in the ring right now, especially because one-man gang has been eliminated. Kofi Kingston comes out at number 16. Dean Ambrose comes out at number 17. And since I've got that sort of not familial, friendly connection between him and Seth Rollins is like, okay, good, my buddy's here. Like, we can team up against somebody else. And Rollins gets eliminated by Dean Ambrose. Followed by Mick Foley at number 18, and he immediately starts brawling with Ambrose. The two of them just start going at it, and this is going to lead down to something in the future. Kofi Kingston saves himself from being eliminated around that time. Barry Horowitz comes out at number 19. Good old underdog. Maybe he could have a good run. Number 19 is a good spot. At this point, Ambrose and Mick Foley have been brawling so long that they eliminate each other. They just tumble over the top rope, and they start fighting to the back. So Ambrose is gone. Foley is gone. He's barely been in there, but I think that Foley's one of those guys that he makes a bigger presence in a Royal Rumble when he comes out, rather than if he stays out. You know what I mean? He's not going to be like the guy flipping around, and realistically speaking, I don't need to have him skinning the cat and everything, you know. So currently still in the ring. You got Bret Hart, Seth Rollins, you got Kane, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, Owen Hart, Crush, Kofi Kingston, Barry Horowitz. Ring's really getting full, so we got to get another big man out there to start cleaning the house a little bit, and it's Andre the Giant, number 20 spot. Can't go wrong with that. Andre takes out Barry Horowitz. No underdog story today for him. Kofi Kingston gets taken out by Andre the Giant. Crush gets taken out by Andre the Giant, and Kane, where Crush and Kane are fighting, and Andre just sort of dumps him. And the two of them really would have been the ones that took Andre out, and everybody realizes that. So Bret, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, Owen Hart, they look at Andre and just go like, fuck. Like, we don't Crush enough Kane. The 4 of us against Andre is not going to be enough. We need help. So number 21 comes out. Help is on the way. It's Santino Marella. And they all just go, fuck me. Like, he couldn't have been somebody that really could have been useful. And Santino gets eliminated by Andre the Giant. And they sit there and they go like, all right, you know, facepalm moment. Fuck, we're back to this again. And Andre's just laughing it up. Just, you know, this is fucking great. None of you are going to come close to doing anything to me. Got a big man in Royal Rumble. What are you going to do? You're going to send out another big man. Baba Tunde. Number 22. He's big. He's big. Not a lot of people after this match are big. He's going to start fighting him. It's not still going to be enough. You need something more. Big Daddy Cool to the rescue you. Entry number 23 is Diesel. And Andre the Giant is taken out by Brett, Sean, Mr. Perfect, Owen Hart, Baba Tunde, and Diesel all together. And as they're celebrating, they're all just kind of like, yeah, we did it or whatever. Sean and Diesel take out Baba Tunde. Fuck you, pal. They got a thing in mind. They know that they're buds, and Diesel wants to be the big man in the match. And yeah, this is their quick chance to take out Baba Tunde. Go ahead. So Baba Tunde is just, nah, son of a bitch. Let's all celebrate while everybody's down and kind of worn out. So number 24 is Booker T. You do a little spin already in the ring.
Please.
Number 20, before number 25 comes out, Owen Hart gets taken out by Brett. Owen thinks that he can just take the opportunity to jump on this and do something, and Brett just gonna maybe one of those moves where like Owen's going for it and Brett grabs him by the head and spins around and throws him, and Owen's looking like, how the hell did that happen? Even though it makes no sense. It's like the Irish whip, like it never makes any sense, but people do it anyway. Number 25 is Shane Douglas. He lays out Booker T. What a jerk. Doesn't eliminate him though. We're gonna get another big man in a dangerous spot this late with Bam Bam Bigelow. He is taking down some different people. He gets stalled by Diesel. By this point, Shane Douglas gets taken out by Booker T. Revenge for that momentary laying you out. Possible feud going forward. Shane Douglas, Booker T. That's a nice, I'm super fun of. But hey, I couldn't figure out anything better for Shane Douglas. And number 27 comes out. Lucky number 27. Super happy to be in this number is Jonathan Coachman, but it isn't because his spot gets taken by Repo Man. Something backstage with the whole Ted DiBiase buying number 30, it got all messed up, and Jonathan Coachman doesn't have a spot in the Royal Rumble. Fucking Repo Man took it from him. So Repo Man's all giddy and shit. And as soon as he gets to the ring, Bret Hart takes him out. Just fuck you, pal. You're not gonna actually do shit with this. So number 28, very very good draw for the Ultimate Opportunist. You got Edge coming out. He's gonna be a big player for this. Number 29, before number 29 comes out, Booker T gets eliminated by Edge. He's on a roll. He's comes into the ring, immediately spears Booker T, and starts with that big presence. Number 29 is a massive threat, Roman Reigns, who takes out Bam Bam Bigelow. And we're ready for number 30. Who was the one that cheated Ted DiBiase out of that thing? Ric Flair. 30's playing the game. So Ric Flair comes out strutting stuff, thinking that I'm number 30. Like, this is great. And I got this win. We got the split of the ring. 3 faces: Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Diesel. 3 heels in Mr. Perfect, Edge, and Roman Reigns. And Flair is doing his posing and being the center of attention. He eats a super kick by Shawn Michaels. He gets tossed out. I don't need Ric Flair to be in this match super long. Down to the final 6: Bret, Shawn, Perfect, Diesel, Edge, Roman, and we got Shawn Michaels getting taken out by Mr. Perfect. Ooh. Thankfully, Mr. Perfect gets taken out by Bret Hart. And we're down to the final 4: Bret, Diesel, Edge, and Roman. So we got the 4 corners. Everybody sets off to the side. Diesel and Roman start looking at each other. Edge and Bret start looking at each other. You start having that clash. Diesel gets taken out by Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns gets taken out by Bret Hart. And Edge squeaks in and eliminates Bret. The match you're looking forward to is Macho Man Randy Savage against Edge as a heel.
That's a lot of fun, and you guys say you put a lot of work into your Royal Rumble idea. And what landed on Edge and Savage?
The more that I thought about it, and by the way, the people that are not on the card that I didn't incorporate are Beth Phoenix, Bushwhacker Butch, Damien Demento, Dick Murdoch, Doug Gilbert, Draz, Hikawa Mori, and Tom Brady. Just, whatever. Put another match on the card and incorporate them. The more I thought about it, the more I was trying to figure out who would my champion be. And I had a couple people in mind, like maybe Ted DiBiase, maybe Rollins, maybe even something with like Roman Reigns would be the champion instead of being in the Royal Rumble and all. When I had Savage and Rude as a match that I could take those 2 out of the Royal Rumble, then I'm like, all right, Savage is my champion. I need a heel to go up against him. And then I looked at my list and I'm like, I don't want to see Savage and DiBiase again. And Savage and Rollins was in my mind, but I ultimately like Edge more. So you take out a couple people that he's already had matches with, like Flair and Perfect, and I don't think Andre the Giant versus Randy Savage is a match that needs to happen. We can do other matches and stuff, like maybe Andre versus any of the other big men or anything. But the Brett story felt like it needed to have a disappointing end because it's a little too obvious that it's like, okay, Brett gets a fights for the spot in the Royal Rumble, comes to number 1, and he makes it all the way to the end. No, Edge is a spoiler. Nice. So people on the YouTube side of things can see on the screen right now the full breakdown of everything, eliminations in the red, other notes here and there. I had tons of different notes, but I deleted them along the way. And you're gonna leave this Royal Rumble with Edge being like, hey, I'm going to beat Randy Savage at WrestleMania, and we're gonna start a feud between 2 charismatic people that can really hold their own. Like, I think this match will be pretty good too. I think Savage and Edge can work really well together.
I would agree with that.
Anything else, Cal?
Again, the Rumble's been well constructed, so there's a lot of thought going into it, which is good. I personally got it right now. Your final choices?
He was very close.
I just think that sounds like a bigger match than Edge versus Randy Savage.
And I mean, Edge versus
You're going against Randy Savage as well?
Well, yeah, I'm going by the assumption that I can't change. I can change who the champion was, and I can only change the result of the Rumble. Then I probably would have gone right over Edge. I think Edge would be a good choice to face Bret Hart at WrestleMania. Like, have him eliminate him and then sit like he's in the pocket of the announcers and decide with him to be the one to finally take out Bret Hart.
Now, did you say you had already pre-planned like an Elimination Chamber or Fastlane to go along with this card, or did you have one?
I have a couple notes in mind, but not really anything. Because I might follow it up with something like that. I might just gotta be like, where can I see? How do I go with this? Like, am I gonna do something with like Kane versus Andre? Am I gonna do something with like maybe like the Booker T versus Shane Douglas thing, which isn't something that's like hey, that's my big priority is Shane versus Booker. But like I mean, you got something with the Owen Hart and Bret Hart thing. Maybe they can sort out their issues. Do something with like the Shield. Maybe you can get something with Diesel and Michaels together against people, or there's some ideas here and there.
Cool. Was there anything that you just didn't like in your card? Like you're just like, I guess because we're here, fine.
Out of all the people that I couldn't figure out something decent enough to do with, not that it was like a big priority anyway, but I kept feeling like Mustafa Ali was just there. And I was like, it's a shame that I can't really justify him being the guy who at least fights Lex Luger more. And then I'm like, then Carlito's in that spot, and it was Carlito and Mustafa Ali were pretty much just like, I don't know what to do with these guys. I like them, but I can't figure out any spot for them. And a lot of the other ones, like, Ty Dillinger, I like Ty Dillinger, but he wasn't going to be a big priority. And then somebody like Crush is, fun for what he was worth. But the most disappointing thing, I think, would be I wanted to do something with the 3 members of the Shield. And the more that I laid out the match, the more that I was just like, I kind of like the idea of tweener/heel Ambrose and Foley and heel Rollins and heel Roman. And you can't have the three of them really fight each other if they're all heels. And then Rollins has to last to the end, and Ambrose has to last to the end. And, yeah. DiBiase was definitely one of the ones that was like very quickly book around him for a little bit, you know.
Right.
But that's my whole setup. Which means it's somebody else's turn.
I can go. I have a lot on this card, and while you will not get the detail with which I think Tony laid out the Royal Rumble match itself, I had some pretty fun beats to my whole card.
Make sure that you put it up on the spreadsheet too.
Oh, I actually have it on a different Google Doc now. It's copy links. Alright, so my card. First of all, I wanted to say that the undercard was very, very easy. It became more challenging when I tried to decide. Alright, I was laying out long-term storytelling, how am I going to do where I want to go, but my card will have quite a few gimmick matches on it. I almost had a gimmick match card, but I controlled myself a little bit.
You can see on your screen right now that everybody can see their roster. I've that up originally. These are the people that Rob was working with, so keep that in mind.
It opens up with a tag team championship ladder match. The Hardy Boys successfully defending the tag team titles against Rob Van Dam. I don't know if I said it on air or off air, but this was going to happen as soon as I got 30 and 7.
But you said I think that was when you had picked Sabu, and we were like, whoa, what? I think you were like, oh, I think I'm going to tag him up with RVD.
Yeah, because I played around with like the actual match itself, got the tables, got the extreme rules, but I had another match on down this card, and did not make it an extreme match. Now, we got our first backstage segment. It's a Royal Rumble Tumbler segment. Sheamus gets his number. He looks pretty happy with himself. Randy Orton gets his number, and he's not so happy. We go from that to an Intercontinental Championship match. Adam Cole defending against Pete Dunne. Now, you can imagine why I put this match together. I think both these guys are great. I thought they had good matches. He was in 19. Adam Cole retains his title because he low blows Pete Dunne from the referee and walks off. And as he walks off, Michael Cole, who's on not only play-by-play duty, but backstage duty as well, says, Adam, why'd you do that? And he says, I'm going to be the first Intercontinental Champion to enter the Royal Rumble and win, and I can't exhaust myself any further. It's been like 15 minutes heading out of there because I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. Alright, cool. Next, we go to a backstage segment with Cody Rhodes and his father. And Dusty tells him, no matter what happens in this next match, I love you, you make me very proud. The next match is a United States Championship Texas Death Match. As Vader, with Harley Race, defends against Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes.
Not what I was expecting to be on this card. I can say that.
Now, it's traditional Texas Death Match rules. You gotta knock him out and then kick him out for 10. I think there would be a lot of plunder here to use a Dusty phrase. I definitely see Dusty giving Harley the elbow, and the match ends when Cody Rhodes and Dusty do a double bionic elbow. Cody Rhodes hits the disaster kick. Vader goes toppling through a set of tables, pins him 1, 2, 3, and then they throw a bunch of plunder on him. Vader's out for 10 seconds. Cody Rhodes gets celebrates win with his father. He's a bloody mess, and Vader beats the shit out of him throughout the whole thing. But that would be my United States Championship match, and I will say this: that was the first match I booked for this year.
Do you have that in mind when you were picking Cody Rhodes, or is it only when you got Dusty?
I had Cody as like a major Rumble guy. I had Vader as like a guy who's going to be like a Kane in your Rumble. And I looked at it and I got Vader, I got Harley. I got Cody, I got Dusty. I think I got a dude. Alright, so I'll actually count you anything here. Any thoughts?
The good matches.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm more like just listening really at the moment, and that takes the matches out very much like the Babyface Ric Flair versus Vader approach.
Alright,
That's how you do it. So.
Just 3 matches I'd watch.
So we get our next Tumbler segment. You see Mr. Curly with his number. You see Supernetico gets his number. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They draw. Kevin Owens. Get. Sami Zayn draws. Looks at his number. Looks at Kevin's. And they stare each other down. I think you know where we're going here. We go from that to another backstage where Triple H he's got his WWE Championship. He's getting a cup of coffee. Looks around and there's Batista, who's got his World Championship. And they're both pissed. Triple H talks about his title match. He's not having his defender triple threat. He says, that's not so bad. I gotta worry about The Undertaker. And suddenly they both stop talking. They look to their left. Randy, you should think that's bad. Look at my Royal Rumble number. And then Triple H looks at Batista, Hunter. They go, well, we got problems of our own, but what's your number? You're not gonna be one of them. And they're laughing at him, and then suddenly Triple H goes, well, wait a minute. Maybe we should talk. And they all go off in their own way. We go talk about whatever they need to. Next on the card isn't really a match, but it is a super pose down.
Okay, that's not like the next thing I was expecting.
Action McRude and Bobby Lashley. This is just to let things breathe. You know, and if you've seen pose down in Warrior, you know this is going to end with, obviously, like Lashley gets tapped, and McRude stands tall over Lashley. That's what, you know, you've had a Texas Death Match ladder match. You gotta let things breathe. But the next match, because we are coming into the home stretch, is your WWE Championship. Rey Mysterio and CM Punk challenging Triple H. And it's a very fun match. Rey is the true babyface. Punk is the neutral. I'm tired of being screwed by Triple H. And, you know, I'm gonna get my hands on you. I'm gonna finally win at WrestleMania. The match, obviously, it's triple threat. It breaks down. At one point, Rey and Punk get Triple H over the announce desk. They start battling themselves. Rey hits Punk with the 619. Goes to the West Coast Pop. Punk counters that into the go to sleep. And suddenly, out comes Batista. Clothesline CM Punk. And looks at Rey. Smiles at him. And Rey's going, what the hell's going on? Anyway, Rey goes for the guy on top rope. Rock splash. Wait, here comes Triple H. Pedigree to Rey Mysterio. 1, 2, 3. Triple H walks out with the championship belt.
What a dastardly heel. What a bastard.
At this point, Punk's thinking, what the hell, Rey? What was that? I just got to talk about Batista. What's happening here? And he's not happy. He's irate. We got Wyatt family backstage yet. They all have their numbers. You know, it's Bray Wyatt jargon tonight. A plan will come together that will result in the destruction of worlds. I have my family with me, and even though there's another 27 guys out there, tonight it's all about us. And right as he's about to do the whole run thing, you see in the shadows, Randy Orton's behind Bray Wyatt. what the fuck is happening there? Anyway, next match is Batista and the Undertaker for the World Championship. Batista's a heel. Think like 2010, Spotlight on Me, Batista. And Undertaker is Vader State Undertaker. I had a few different matches in mind, and I'll tell you what I have after this. It was a back and forth match, just a 2 count out Batista bomb. The referee ends up taking a bump. Undertaker chokes on Batista, does a throat slit, and there's the Wyatt family sound. Holy shit, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Braun Strowman just came in the ring, beat the shit out of the Undertaker. Batista rolls into the cover, 1, 2, 3. What the hell just happened? The Wyatt family just targeted the Undertaker. And my world they haven't done this yet, so we have a bump. So that's that, and now we go into Royal Rumble stuff. We start off, no surprises, we Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Why wouldn't you?
We gotta follow in that idea of 2 people that can actually have a good first kind of brawl.
Absolutely. And then, they're brawling, and they try to there a couple times. Double clothesline. Number 3 comes in, and it's Randy Orton. He got number 3. You spoke to talk about it. He goes for the RKO on KO right away. KO pushes him into Sami Zayn, gets him in an exploder. Everybody's brawling. Eliminated. Number 4 comes in. It's Tornado, Gary Leonard. Back and forth here. Still, just your standard Rumble brawling. Hess comes in at number 5. And even though he's able to knock down Texas Tornado long enough for Randy Orton to hit him with RKO and throw out the Tornado, he's by the ropes. Sami Zayn comes rushing with a haluva kick. Tess goes out pretty quickly. It's back down to just Orton, Owens, and
running to Test getting the big boot.
yes. Big before story guy. Number 6 is Jim Runzel. You gotta fill up with some of your lesser names. Getting eliminated right away, he kind of just has a little bit of a back and forth with Randy. And then number 7 comes in, and it's Umaga, and out goes Jim Runzel. So Umaga's just wrecking everybody, running attacks to 3 corners. Everybody's in their signature spots, and Umaga's standing tall by himself as the other are laying down, and it's Braun Strowman's number 8. And you have the big man stare down. They do the test of strength kind of stuff. They don't move each other. Owens they get back into it. They're all knocking down the big man. Number 9 comes in. It's Boog isn't in there for long as he gets eliminated by Umaga and Strowman. But kind of double toss over the ropes or whatever. Number 10 comes in. It's Harper. Now Harper and Strowman are pounding everybody in the ring. They're kind of throwing everybody. Harper gets to display it on Orton, Zayn, and Owens. And number 11 comes in. It's Natives, and Natives. Yeah, I'm in the match. I'm so.
Yeah, I'm a match.
He's having fun. He's stopping this one, stopping that one. He tries to toss out Sami Zayn. There's nothing. He tries to get Owens to help him. Owens stuns him. Owens and Zayn eliminate Danny Davis together. We're going to build. Now we're back to your 5 of your top stars in this match. Then number 12 comes in, and it's Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne, Owens already wrestled in a championship match. He's going after Orton. He's getting to do some X-Flexes on people. He's actually getting to make a name for himself. And then number 13 comes in, and it's Bray Wyatt. And to try to get Pete Dunne, everybody's getting laid out. I am the world. Yada yada. Umaga's still in there. Umaga starts taking on the Wyatt family by himself. And they're all getting down. And then number 14 comes in, and it's Jey Uso, who tries to help out Umaga. And now you kind of got different factions brawling as everybody but Orton essentially has a partner, but Orton's kind of got this weird deal with Wyatt family because we still know what they were talking about. And that goes on for a little bit. Number 15 comes in, it's Paul Roma. Harper and Strowman right out with Paul Roma. We don't need Paul Roma in this match.
To make you feel bad, by the way, when you were booking these, and it's you break down and you go all right, well, Paul Roma does just get tossed. Because I didn't say it, but you just look at some people and you're yeah, I'll leave that one.
I have so many different characters in this that are story driven that some of them just don't fit. Number 16 comes in, and it's Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole goes rushing in, and guess what? Pete Dunne sees the motherfucker and rushes right at him, clotheslines him over the ropes, and also eliminates himself in the process because he's just going to beat Adam Cole's ass up and down the ramp for scoring that Intercontinental title. So I would have had more planned for Cole. I think this story is a lot more fun. Number 17 is Snitsky. Snitsky kind of makes himself comfortable going after Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, splitter suplexes Snitsky. He goes to run a haluva kick him, and suddenly the Wyatt family grabs Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's out. They look at Kevin Owens. Here, you can go with them. All 3 of them eliminate Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn out. You're the Wyatt family. And, we keep going here. Randy Bree comes in. He tries to get some shots in on people. He doesn't last too long because he's going to be eliminated by the Wyatt family in short order. Number 19 is the Red Rooster. And, you've got everybody kind of brawl in. And Randy Orton will be the one to take out the Red Rooster, but he'll last a little bit. He won't get tossed out immediately like a Paul Roma, but Randy Orton will get him out because we're building Randy Orton here, he's going to be the Iron Man of this thing, clearly. And then number 20 comes in, and it's John Cena. And John Cena eliminates Snitsky. And John Cena eliminates Jey Uso, and he gets out Umaga, and he's up against the Wyatt family. And Randy Orton's like, we can do this now. We can take it together. All right. And I don't know, John Cena will believe him because Randy Orton knocks out John Cena from behind. And everybody's jumping on John Cena. Of course, because of the Wyatt family, they're going to start tagging Orton again, too. We get number 21 in, Joe Jackson. He kind of figures out he's able to body slam Roman. He's able to take out Harper. He's able to last, Big man comes in. It's Tiger Ali Singh. He doesn't get thrown out right away, but he does eventually fall to John Cena. Number 23 comes in, and it's Ravishing Rick Rude. And Rick Rude's tagging John Cena, and he's tagging Randy Orton. He's kind of one of those neutral parties who just, we'll do whatever. It's the Royal Rumble. I want to go to WrestleMania. Number 24 comes in. Bobby Lashley. Guess who he's going right for? Rick Rude. He's an atomic drop, so he can get an awesome sell, but he's acting like he doesn't know how to move his ass.
That's Lincoln's fault.
Ow, my ass is broken.
Listen, if you ever just watch him do it, you'll understand. Lashley throws out Rick Rude. Number 25 is Sheamus. Sheamus comes in, running forearms for people. He broke Joe Jackson out of the thing. He's now it's him and Lashley, they're brawling and everything. We're down to some heavy hitters. And number 26 comes in. It's the Berserker. We have a fun moment with the Berserker and the Carver just you go back and forth thing there. And then he's able to stay in a little bit longer, but Cena. Number 27, Big John Studd. He won from that number. I believe he was the first to win from that number. And he's going to last a bit, but he'll also get tossed out by Sheamus. Number 28, we get Sergeant Slaughter, who is kind of able to, get some fun moments on people. He goes for Randy because Randy was a legend killer. He gets the over clutch on Randy. Randy kind of ducks by the ropes, allows the Wyatt family to check out Sergeant Slaughter. Number 29 is Cybernetico. He doesn't do much. He just fly crossbodies, gets an RKO, gets tossed out by Randy Orton. Now at this point, it's the Wyatt family, it's Sheamus, Lashley, and it's Randy.
John Cena, right?
Yeah. And you've got the baby faces and the heels are kind of squaring up. And everybody's brawling, and eventually the Wyatt family is kind of getting the better of they get the better of Lashley, they get the better of Sheamus. Randy Orton thinks he's kind of safe. Bray Wyatt turns on him with Abigail. They're excited, they're about to start checking out people. Number 30 hits. Bong. Lights go up. Lights go on. Undertaker's here. Undertaker's just beating the fuck out of the Wyatt family. Out goes Harper. Out goes Strowman. Bray Wyatt looks up at him and he starts laughing. And Taker hits him with, like the flurry shots that he'll do in the corner. And chokeslam. Out goes Bray Wyatt, who was just laughing the whole way through, like almost in a Joker way. Just like, okay, this is what I wanted. I have the Undertaker's attention. So now it's down to Taker, Cena, Lashley, Sheamus. And we get, everybody's kind of doing their signature spots. Lashley gets spearing on Sheamus. Taker gets the chokeslam on Lashley. Cena goes for the AA. Taker out the backside, chokeslam. He thinks he's got the whole thing going on. He goes for Randy. And he got off in a tombstone. And suddenly, chair to the back. Oh shit, what the fuck is Batista doing here? Batista shows up. Randy's able to get out the Undertaker with his help. Randy's able to RKO Sheamus. Out goes Sheamus. Lashley is able to avoid an RKO. Push Orton into Cena, AA. Lashley gets a spear on Cena. Goes to throw him out. Cena reverses it. Up and over goes Bobby Lashley. We're down to Randy Orton and John Cena, which round two. But suddenly, Evolution with the titles, that they're watching the match, and there's something happening here. So, John Cena's kind of looking around. He's distracted enough. Orton goes for RKO. Nope. John Cena shoulder blocks. Does the 5 moves doom essentially. And shuffle goes up for AA. Batista up on the apron. He's distracting him, and suddenly, bam! It's CM Punk. CM Punk goes after Batista long enough for Randy Orton gets distracted. Eventually, John Cena wins the Royal Rumble by eliminating Randy Orton, and it now becomes who's John Cena got a challenge because there's this weird evolution thing, and it's not like Punk and Cena are friends. It's just Punk got fucked over earlier in the night, and he wanted revenge. But John Cena now has his ticket to WrestleMania. Randy Orton's pissed because he just did the ring for an hour and it still failed, even though he had evolution and the Wyatt's in his back pocket. Hunter's pissed. He's like, I don't want to fight John Cena. Batista would be upset, but he's too busy running away from CM Punk, and that's Royal Rumble.
So who is it that you don't have in here? You got Mantar,
I didn't have Simba. I didn't have Bo Dallas.
Steve Blackman.
I didn't have Steve Blackman.
Fake Diesel, Skinner.
And that was Fake Diesel or Skinner.
And I think we got everybody else.
Because I did have Michael Cole as an enhancer. Now, yes, that was a lot. And there was a lot of story driven stuff. But I think, and I was thinking about this a lot, there's not enough just through line plots in modern wrestling. And I want to see a return to that. All these characters have backstories with one another. Why not exploit that? Randy Orton does have a relationship with Wyatt. It would make sense to put the Wyatts against that Taker. Batista and Triple H, they could be bad. They don't have to be together. You have the history of evolution, and you can play on that. I will say this: I was going to do Ray and Triple H solo, but then I was going to do Punk and Triple H because one of the ideas I had was Punk will get screwed somehow, enter the Royal Rumble, win it, and then it's Punk at WrestleMania. I also thought about Batista against Sami Zayn as just like a fun, okay, him and Triple H are bitching about having these indie guys, and that could be the through line to get that backstage segment. The Super Pose Down was the last idea I came up with this, but I just I'm doing too much here. I want something to let everything breathe. I was also going to do Bray Wyatt's the world champion, and Undertaker beats him in casket match. That was going to be it was good. I don't want to spoil where I'm going with Mania because we might actually do an elimination chamber. But I have a very distinct idea. I know John Cena's the face. I know Hunter's the face. I know what I can do with your title. I really like this. I hope that came through.
I can see the time frame. Obviously, when I book a lot of new generation stuff, it's you're very much ruthless aggression leading into that CM Punk groundswell support kind of era. You got evolution, you got the Wyatt family,
Yeah, that was fun. What do you think, Dom?
Yeah, I liked it. I think, again, there is that interwoven connection that you found between trying to go for Freedom's Evolution. What can I do with them? Of course, I make all champions, except for Orton, who decided to make the kind of focal point of the Rumble. That doesn't really surprise me. I appreciate the fact that you had all the Wyatt family, and so you decided to use them. I still think, especially considering recent history, you give them way too much.
They're so easy to look. If they weren't easy characters to play with, and if they didn't have the history of being main event guys, I could always just say, well, this is my world, so I didn't fuck it up yet.
Yeah, that's how it looks. Tell that to both Vince McMahon and Triple H. Both seem to be doing a terrible job.
I had fun with it.
It's interesting to do a completely different thing because it's not like you just have these 50 people trying to figure out the best cards. You have to figure out a Royal Rumble, including that. So, if we end up doing elimination chamber or something, whether we do it with these people or we do a different type of thing, it's it's a different animal. Money Bank's kind of easy. So you just toss whoever you want in there, but you gotta start figuring out stories. You gotta figure out the eliminations themselves, or you can't just be all right, well, it's Skinner and then Boogs and then Lashley and Dallas, and then eventually comes down to Dustin Rhodes wins.
And I think I've really found a niche for myself with using, if you're booking a pay-per-view, use backstage segments to tell the stories you want to tell. And I just think it's there. Use it to tell your stories better.
What was the hardest thing for you?
Honestly, was figuring out who I was going to make champion and who I was going to fit. Because there's part of it was I can book a whole Rumble around Ray. I can book a Rumble around Batista and Randy and John. I can book a whole, so trying to decide who your champion should be was very tough.
Alright, so then your card is currently not up on the spreadsheet, but I'll show that
It will be by the time.
at the end of this. Gonna switch back over to where people can see Callum's people that he's working with. Round it out.
Okay, so I'll start by saying that I did not take the cowardly road of leaving people off of the card. You give me 50 people, I'm going to keep 50 people.
Yeah.
That is what I do, and I stick to it. I have a request for my pre-show match. So I have 8 ball.
You can't make custom gold.
No, I'll go that far. I have gold at any.
Oh, that's right, you do.
Yeah, but he's actually Ron Harris. Can I call him Ron Harris?
Yeah, why not? It could be, the 8 ball could be his, like,
Blue Ron Harris.
8 ball Ron Harris, yeah. That's the same thing.
Okay.
The match is gonna be like, no, that's the sticking point.
Yeah. What's important to this? Because it makes the gimmick of the tactic I'm putting in. So, pre-show match. Towards the end of the randomizer, I had the unfortunate bearing of getting both one half of Demolition and one half of Legion of Doom. So I decided, I want to pair them up, and they become the Demolition of Doom.
Oh, okay.
As a Hulk. Just, take the, I don't know if there's people in their teams, but they're no people in their teams.
Here comes the action, comes talk.
Yeah. And then they would take on Ronnie Garvin and Ron Harris, the 2 Ronnies. It's a very, very brief reference for people that aren't
I'm
aware.
looking up right now because I want to understand it.
They were a comedy double act in the 1970s and 80s. I'm a big fan of, so I decided, I've got 2 good Ron, I can make 2 Ronnies tag team in WWE as well. So yeah, that's just a fun little pre-show match. That's Hulk obviously win, but just wanted to throw something on there, just a little palate cleanser. Babyface wins. Then I have a 6-man tag, and it kind of a bit of explaining. So I got a few people together, and I decided, okay, I've got some element of Hurt Business, and I've got some element of the Nation. So why not create the Hurt Nation?
Like it.
And all the members are involved in it because there's someone that left out. But in the 6-man tag, 3 of the members, there are 5 members in total, and 2 of them are in the Rumble. But the 3 members that are represented in the 6-man tag are Xavier Woods, heel Xavier Woods. Because I think he's got that aspect about him. Like when they first started the New Day, he was a great heel. D'Lo Brown.
People thought that he was going to be starting a new nation without Asian.
Yeah, they had D'Lo Brown. And Perry Saturn. Because Perry Saturn is like a really beat-em-up type of guy, and I think he fits into that role.
Yeah, I think you group called the Hurt Nation.
Yeah. And they're taking on, again, Plucky Babyface team, Zack Ryder, Mojo Rawley, and Big Brian Blair. Instead of, it's a High Price plus Brian Blair, who's just like, just a lowly jobber on the I think. But the idea
There's
is
a lot of buzz around that team. There's just a lot of hype. There's a lot of buzz.
Yeah, that'd be the whole promo leading up to it. But it's just a way to pretty much squash a team for the Hurt Nation. They can just build up a little bit of story about having singles matches and tag team matches leading up to it. With the High Pros, the High Pros are super positive, and the Hurt Nation are just strictly business. They're Hurt business, but they also the Nation. That's so they have a business, and they get a pretty straightforward victory there. My tag team championship match, one that I would always be happy to book. The Revival West champions defending against the Steiner Brothers.
Yep. We knew that one was coming.
Yeah, I didn't like shy away from that, but yeah, they're just 2 awesome teams going up against each other. I'd probably have the Steiner Brothers get the victory here, just have again a nice little babyface pop to get the victory. And you could run it back at WrestleMania or do something else at WrestleMania along these lines as well, but might maybe make give a break for the next pay-per-view and then come back with like 2 out of 3 falls match for WrestleMania or something of that ilk. But I can see these 2 teams feuding for a while. To get on my card, they pretty much would be because they're not much else to choose on the tag team side of it. But yeah, then just great match. Again, it's just my natural habit. It's just like I need to put great matches. You can see the Rumble's not enough. It has to be a great show from top to bottom, as much a great show as possible. Despite the 6-man tag and the 2 Ronnies. United States Championship match. Daniel Bryan is a champion defending against Johnny Gargano.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. So the story about this is that Daniel Bryan has been like a babyface United States champion for quite a while, and now he's being challenged by Johnny Gargano. One of the potentially going to this, and he's also a babyface. So it starts off babyface. And basically the match would be babyface for Randy. Daniel Bryan's taking a few more, like as the bearer of the 2 of them, he's doing a few more shortcuts, taking more of the heel role in this match. And then I would have Gargano win, become the United States champion. And I wouldn't have Daniel Bryan snap and turn heel here, but it would set in motion a course where Daniel Bryan and Johnny Gargano team up together for a little while. Like they try to show mutual respect at the end. Daniel Bryan shaking his hand, but looking visibly disappointed and frustrated. They start a tag team for a little while, and maybe they go off and like the tag titles for a bit. But Daniel Bryan eventually does snap, beat the shit out of him, and that sets you on course for a rematch at WrestleMania in a more vicious stipulation. So that's the United States title. Intercontinental title is a bit more straightforward. It's Chris Jericho defending against Roddy Piper.
Yep.
Again, it's like they're both quite heels, but Piper is the lovable heel, and Jericho is the asshole heel. Everyone hates, and Piper's just playing into those insecurities. They both have segments leading up to this where Jericho has Piper on the highlight reel, Piper has Jericho on Piper's pit. They just play into that for a little while, so they don't really touch physically that much. In the match, it's about who's taking the most shortcuts. I might even make this a submission match just because they have signature submission moves, so it makes sense to do that as well. But realistically, you probably shouldn't, because I'd probably just have Jericho get on the ropes and pin Piper with a roll up to secure the championship, retain it, and then move forward to WrestleMania. I don't see this like progressing beyond the Rumble. It would kind of just be a one and done feud. But yeah, just wanted to put those 2 together because I think they really work well. And then my WWE Championship match, I have 1 world champion. Brock Lesnar champion. Because why not? So you've got Brock, you can use it. And because the Royal Rumble is an opportunity to do something with people that are less likely to get title matches throughout the course of the year, I thought, why not do it against the that big motherfucker that he got thrown in the Rumble at one point, Keith Lee.
I thought you were going to go Cesaro. I was hovering over it.
No. Yeah, I wanted to do Keith Lee because their one confrontation was in that Royal Rumble in 2020, and like the idea that it seemed like Brock was quite interested in taking on this guy.
Yeah.
So literally just a big match. I know Brock typically works best against smaller guys that he can throw around. He can throw around Keith Lee. Keith Lee is agile enough that he can do some of the stuff that some of the smaller guys can do, but also have enough of the power and size comparison to Lesnar that you can see him as a legitimate threat. And like you have him do all his big stuff. You have Lesnar kick out the Spirit Bomb and the pounce and that stuff, but Keith Lee just can't hit the big bang catastrophe. Instead, Lesnar does game up for the FOA and drop him, get the pin. And yeah, that's Keith Lee's like one opportunity at the world title for the year. He went back for another championship opportunity later down the road. But yeah, that was just I thought it'd be quite interesting dynamic to see those 2 against each other. It's like one that I wanted WWE to go with, and they shit the bed as they are prone to do.
So I wanted to do this ahead of time, but I forgot about it, so we're going to do it for viewers. Sucks that we didn't do a video too, but sorry, totally forgot. Rob, both you and I are going to try to predict who's winning Callum's Royal Rumble. Based off of that idea.
Okay, so
I'm assuming Royal Rumble's the next match, you're talking about, right?
Yes, that's
Okay. That's why I wanted to cut you off before you started to say number 1 and all.
That's cool.
all right. So given the fact that I know who he hasn't mentioned, and given the fact that I know what Callum's John's favorite mania is he doesn't like to do too many repeats. I want to say Steve Austin wins this Lesnar WrestleMania.
I'm going to say the same. There's some standout people. Goldberg, McIntyre, Cesaro, Eddie Guerrero. A lot of types I can see, but we've seen Brock against Joe. We've seen Brock against Angle, Brock against Rock. I'm going to go Steve Austin as well. So let's see. If we end up being right about that. That's what Royal Rumble.
Right. So you two both started with Rumbles where it's like two people that can go a long time and have a lot of and basically pretty much have a great match on their own beyond the Rumble itself. So my number one is Al Venus. Because he comes out with the Hello Ladies thing, you can get the crowd excited and kind of promo at the start before he gets into things. So that's mainly the reason I had somebody that has a gimmick that is associated with his entrance. And he talked about like throwing 29 guys over the top rope, and it's just like it's not the first time I've been involved in a fight with 29 guys. and this time, just like in my movies, I'm going to end up on top.
I'm going to want to finish last.
Yeah, when he finishes last. So he comes out and then he's followed by Wildman Mark Mero. You could have Sable with him. Again, Sable's not part of the draft, whatever. If you want to go with that route, then it's like, well, Venus can get slightly distracted by Sable at the start of it as well, and so that gives Mero a chance to just get a cheap shot in and they just start rolling for a while. So you have two essentially perennial mid-carders starting off Rumble, but Rumbles have had that before. You don't always have to start with someone who's going to go the distance. Number 3 is Kierov. How do you pronounce his name? I didn't look up Mero, whatever. But just Lucha guy comes in, does a few Lucha spots with the other two. Then he's followed quickly by Golga. Slightly good guy, dances to the ring. They got that's Odyssey's music playing in the background, people just waving their arms as it goes on, and then he just comes in, starts beating them up some more, so have the ring filling up a bit. Luke Gallows, number 5, starting to be a good guy, just able to impose himself a little bit more physically. He's mainly focusing on Golga, while the other guys just the other guys just eat each other up the corner, just trying to get some eliminations going, but nothing gets done. And now this shit, Goldberg comes in. And Goldberg just tosses everyone. He just eliminates Golga quickly, clotheslines him over, Gallows spear thrown over the top rope, Mark Mero caught in a choke, thrown over the top. Venus hit with the jackhammer thrown out, Kierov gets split in half, lifted up, tossed into everyone else. Because I like Royal Rumbles where there's one guy in the ring and he takes on all colours one at a time. I don't know if it's my favourite, but definitely one of my favourite Rumbles is 2020 with Lesnar doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to follow that suit. I'm going to do Goldberg instead.
You're doing the, what is this, number 7 or so?
He was number 6.
Number 6, there's that number 6, number 7 kind of range of like Diesel, clear house, and then beat everybody on.
Austin was also number 5 in 97 when he was tosses everyone.
Punk did that. The one that he was like
very early, was he like 6?
something along those lines, yeah.
No, Punk was 3.
Yeah, because Connor's like 8. Connor tosses him.
Yeah, because he starts with because that Rumble starts with basically similar one to my way. Starts with Evan Bourne and Dolph Ziggler.
That's right, yeah.
And they literally just do all their moves. They literally do all their finishes in close proximity to each other, and then Punk just throws them both out.
So Goldberg's reset the field.
Yeah, Goldberg's reset the field. He's on his own. He's just waiting for the first victim. And his first victim for this next stage is Curtis Axel. He stands up, like he's got that kind of Axel-mania blood flowing through him, and he looks nervous about coming in, but he slaps himself in the face. He just gets himself super pumped up, runs to the ring, head down, runs straight to a spear, gets thrown out the ring. And then Goldberg has a few more seconds to just sit there, wait for his next victim. Need someone a little bit more, a little bit bigger, someone that can be a real opposing threat to Goldberg. So you bring out Greg Harley, number 8. Greg Harley sorting his way down to the ring. He's not exactly jogging. He's one of those little wheel, like little scooter things to get down the ramp if they still have those. They do for like Mark Henry and stuff. So he gets there, poses a bit more of a threat to Goldberg, does like he's able to outmuscle him a little bit, like hits him with a chop, tries to go for the double hand choke slam. Goldberg breaks out of that, kicks him in the face, spears him, and then he's able to lift him back up. Harley gets back up to the ropes, close line over the top. Goldberg eliminates Greg Harley on his own, and then he waits for something else. Then we have IRS. So earlier in the night, IRS was originally supposed to have a higher number, but he got it stolen by Eddie Guerrero in the backstage segment. So that's like, so he's a bit pissed that he's going out number 9, and then he's doubly pissed because he knows he's got Goldberg in there. So he's coming out with a big briefcase of money, and he's literally going to say to Goldberg, "I'll give you this amount of money if you throw yourself out, or you just let me be in, and we wait for the next person to come in." Goldberg looks slightly enticed by the money. Seems like he's accepted it because he takes the briefcase, and IRS is celebrating. Turns around, Goldberg hits him in the back of the briefcase, spears him, jackhammers, throws him out, and still him. So I think that's how you have someone that can actually pose somewhat of a threat to Goldberg. So who better than Diamond Dallas Page? Obviously, they have that history in WCW, guy that really took Goldberg to his limits, probably gave Goldberg his best singles match that he ever had. And so they're able to square up a little bit more. The crowd's sticking behind DP. I mean, they're behind Goldberg as well, but they like DP a lot. So they're able to square up a little bit more. Goldberg is able to deal with him as quickly, so to get away from spears and got more of this fight with him. Out comes number 11, Mike Ellis. Yeah, he just like gets involved in the melee a little bit more. He's like trying to fight DP. He's not really trying to do too much to Goldberg. He's not trying to team up with Goldberg, but Goldberg's having none of it, just beating him up as well. Number 12, Mason Ryan, a bit more again of a physical specimen. He can come in, he can deal with Goldberg for a little while, and because there are more people in the ring, it's less easy for Goldberg to just pick him off one at a time. So you have Mason Ryan like dealing with Goldberg. In the meantime, DP eliminates Mike Ellis, just like hoists him over the top rope, could have him like charging and do like deep back body drop over the top. Then number 13 is Ryback. We have Ryback come in, and at the same time you've got Goldberg. So he comes in, he starts beating up DP, and he picks up Mason Ryan, and then you have to stare down Goldberg. It's like looking in a mirror. You do the whole mirror thing as well. Like one lifts his hand up, the other one lifts his hand up.
Marx Brothers.
Yeah. And then they start brawling for a little bit. Mason Ryan and DP get involved. They start attacking the other guy. Ryback hoists Mason Ryan out of the ring, and then he starts DP goes for, hits a diamond cutter on Goldberg in the meantime, and then he starts attacking Ryback. They start brawling for a little more. They get really close to the ropes, and they're just hanging over there. Goldberg gets right underneath both of them, hoists them both out at the same time. So even though he's staggering from the diamond cutter, he's able to get out quickly enough to throw them both out, and it's back to reset with Goldberg in the ring on his own. Number 14, Last Shatters, Steve Austin comes down. So you've got Goldberg now, those two are just staring at each other. You have that, not history, but that comparison that these two were like the hottest guys in their same period of WWE. So WCW respectively. So they start brawling, they just start beating the shit out of each other in the ring, and then they start brawling to the floor. So they fall out of the ring, obviously not eliminated, but they're brawling on the outside, brawling ringside, going to the crowd for a little while, just fighting all around the place, just add a little bit of a sideshow. In the meantime, Sean Benjamin's coming to the ring, and he's a member of the Hurt Nation, and he just gets in the ring and he starts doing jumping jacks, just starts like preaching to the crowd. Maybe you do like a Hurt Nation like signature pose and stuff like that, but you have to promo to the crowd in the meantime, just to make sure that even though people are still looking at whether Goldberg and Steve Austin are doing that, he's not completely just lost in the shuffle. And then a couple couple of seconds later, Slater comes in. Slater and John Benjamin start going at it. Again, Benjamin's clearly the superior athlete out of the two of them, so he gets the advantage, but no eliminations at this point, while Austin and Ryback fucking up Goldberg. so he's confused the two of them. Ryback. They're just they're getting closer and closer back to the ring, but they're still in the crowd, they're still like close to the barricade at this point. Then Smojo comes out, number 17. Again, it's now just like starting to fill up a little bit more. This is now the point where the Rumble will start to fill up with people. And Joe comes in, just starts to beat people up, throwing people around. Just pretty straightforward. It's only these three guys in the ring while the others are outside doing whatever they're doing. 18, Jinder Mahal comes out. And again, just adding more bodies into it for the time being, just doing whatever Jinder Mahal does, which assumes like punching kicks and boring holds. 19 is Mabel. Get a big guy into there, and doesn't have any eliminations, but he just starts, beating people up quite easily, like splashing people in the corner, taking people's clotheslines, and just like not selling for them, just doing it all pretty much on his own. 20 is Drew McIntyre.
You're going Mabel, not Viscera, right?
Yeah, I'll go Mabel, because we're Mabel legends.
Yeah, okay, just want to be sure.
Yeah. And then McIntyre comes out. McIntyre is again much more of a physical presence, tall, big guy, so to take down Mabel a little bit more, be caught eliminating on his own. So Mabel has to push him off, and then who's there alongside Drew McIntyre to help get Mabel out of the ring? Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal. And they all just combine their efforts together, and they throw Mabel out of the ring all together, and they do a little 3MD pose, and they get the guitars out, and they start playing it, the guitars are playing around, and then they think, okay, we're going to unite together and be a force, and then McIntyre hits them both with a double claymore and throws them out of the ring. Yeah, the whole...
That does the shrug,
Yeah, the Rikishi squad quite so I like that spot, so I wanted it.
That's my guitar, yeah.
So right now in the ring, Steve Austin and Goldberg by this point have made their way back into the ring, and they're still focused mainly on each other, but now they're getting a bit more involved in brawls with McIntyre and Samoa Joe and John Benjamin. And then here comes the final member of Her Nation, Ahmed Johnson. So him and Shelton now start teaming up, and they start carrying on people. They start going on for Austin and Goldberg. They're not fully dominating the entire Rumble, they're not getting anyone out, but they're just exerting a bit more presence because there's both of them there, and they're going to be united together until the end. 22, it's Kurt Angle. And yeah, just comes in, suplexing everyone, just throwing people around. This is basically what Angle did in the 2005 Rumble, except he doesn't get eliminated by a flash kick by Shawn Michaels, but he just literally suplex, maybe an Angle standing there as well, we just throwing people around. 23, AJ Styles, okay, again, heavy hitters coming into this, so Styles is in, does a load of his signature offense as well, like phenomenal forearm in there, hits Angle with Styles Clash, just adding more bodies. There's still no eliminations, but you get some really top name people. Speaking of which, 24 is Eddie Guerrero. He comes in, again, starts after the melee. He does like some 3 amigos, but he do the ones where it's like he hits 2 of the 3 amigos and someone interrupts, so he starts with 3 amigos on that one, so someone else interrupts, he's doing 3 amigos on that one, so he finally manages to hit all of them on Shelton Benjamin, say. But the crowd gets super interested in that. Then you have Cesaro come out. Cesaro, big dude, just starts throwing uppercuts all over the place to anyone who's moving, just like powering people up, and yeah, just adding another name that you could maybe potentially envision winning this as well. And then you throw in 26, The Rock. The Rock comes in, House of Fire, and he's had some problems in the past with the Hurt Nation because he didn't want to join them again, didn't want to reform that thing, even though they felt it was his heritage or his blood to be part of that group. But no, The Rock's doing it his own way, and then in the course of him arriving and just coming to House of Fire and just punching everyone that moves, he eliminates both Shelton Benjamin and Ahmed Johnson. So both members of the Hurt Nation are thrown out before the end of the Rumble. Then you have 27, Karma. Yeah, the big woman come down to just be a bit of a, like, just at the moment where everyone just kind of stops and stares, like thinking, oh, okay, what's happening here? And Karma comes in, she just starts like attacking people. She's big enough that she can just throw guys like AJ Styles and Guerrero and Kurt Angle around if she wants to, but she eventually gets like choked from behind and thrown out by Samoa Joe. Because Samoa Joe doesn't care, he's just a woman. 28, Yokozuna comes down again, doesn't exactly okay. Fast start getting into the ring. In the meantime, you've had Drew McIntyre and a couple of the other big guys start just beating up in the middle ring while everyone else kind of like choking each other out or being beaten up in the corner. Yokozuna comes in, he starts taking people down with clotheslines and splashes, and then Drew McIntyre starts to wail on him a bit. He starts punching, he goes for like running claymore out of the ring, but Yokozuna's able to avoid it or block it, and then he again reverse it, throws McIntyre out himself. So that could be somewhere threat going as well, like these two big behemoths against each other, maybe down the road for WrestleMania, but just have the idea of Yokozuna throwing McIntyre out. Then 29 comes out, Timothy Well. So he's out there just a bit quite he starts sprinting towards the ring, but then he realises he's in it, so he kind of just creeps around on the outside and he's just waiting for his opportunity to strike. In the meantime, Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe, because those two have been having a rivalry leading up to this like professional like in-ring rivalry before this, similar to their TNA days, and Kurt Angle's having to get the better of Samoa Joe, maybe do like an angle slam over the top rope, and Joe's thrown out. In the meantime, then everyone just starts hitting like finishing moves. You have like a stunner, you have a spear, you have a rock bottom, to the point where like pretty much everybody's laid out, and Timothy Well sees his opportunity, gets in the middle of the ring, and he just starts celebrating and just like gets super excited because he's the one standing in the Royal Rumble. And well, it's the Big Show, and I'm Thursday. Big Show's come down to Timothy Well, grabs his hands, and just like he doesn't know what to do, and he just like goes for some sort of clothesline or attack with the Big Show early. Big Show just catches him in his grasp, hits a choke slam, throws him out of the ring, and then most people start going after the Big Show immediately. Like Angle gets thrown down, Austin gets thrown down, The Rock gets thrown down, AJ Styles and Eddie Guerrero both go after him. They seem like they've got some kind of shots in, but Big Show does reverse it, throws Styles out of the ring, throws Eddie Guerrero out of the ring. They're both eliminated. And then you get Goldberg tries to get into him, he spears him, tries to get the jackhammer, but he can't get him up. And in the meantime, he's been squashed in between both Yokozuna and the Big Show. They do like a rock and hard place type spot. But then you have Big Show squaring up to Yokozuna, and they start wailing on each other. Big Show gets in a chokehold, Yokozuna tries to block him with his own chokehold, and they end up leaning against the ropes. And in that time, Cesaro tells him to get up underneath both of them, throw them both out at the same time. So you have Cesaro getting a big elimination over these two giants, and just continuing his reputation as a force to be reckoned with in battle royals. So down to 5 now, down to Kurt Angle, Cesaro, The Rock, Goldberg, Steve Austin. Cesaro is soon thrown out, like he does all like signature spots, like runs wild for a bit. Eventually gets caught by Angle into an early suplex over the top rope. Down to final 4, you have the 4 corners thing, Angle, Goldberg, Rock and Austin. It's pretty stellar final 4. And you make this one last a little bit, you have them all fighting around for about 2 or 3 minutes. But they're just struggling to get them over, they're hitting their signature moves. Eventually, The Rock is able to eliminate Goldberg when he tries to go for the jackhammer on Austin. So you have him like close to the ropes going for the jackhammer. The Rock is able to just like close on it down the process. Goldberg gets pierced, he gets a steel chair on the outside, crawls back into the ring, hits The Rock in the back. That allows Kurt Angle to eliminate The Rock, and also sets in motion plans for a Rock versus Goldberg match at WrestleMania. And then you down to the final 2, Austin and Angle. They go after each other for a while. I kind of see this playing out similarly to what 2002 Royal Rumble played out, where Angle thinks that he's eliminated Austin, and he like celebrates, gets his hands down, starts like dancing around in the ring, starts wildly celebrating as Angle does. does. Steve Austin gets back in, clothesline angle, stuns him, throws him over the top rope, Angle's crying on the outside, and Austin is your winner. Will be facing Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, you were right. It was going to be Austin. Because most of the top guys in this match, Lesnar has had matches with, and this is one anomaly.
Even though there's nothing that ever says that we can't book rematch things, we always tend to go for like doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to build towards an Austin Lesnar match at any point, then you should really take the opportunity. I mean, it's a different universe. You don't have to say that Austin is like the three-time winner of Rumble in this universe. It's the first time winner of Rumble.
Yeah, without a broken neck. And,
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Still couldn't resist the leading to Big Show thing. I think all of us would have done that.
Yeah, you said it. And I thought, this is fun. Otherwise, didn't well just ended up in the Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley team.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that would be a little fun way to end it. Like, some of the tab at the 29 spot was that.
Got no one down, so you can go back up again.
Yeah, exactly. Like the one I remember most fondly is when it was the Miz, when the Miz was the reality show guy still. He comes in number 29, I think, in the 2007 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because Taker's 30 ago.
Yeah, and it's like he's there, and I think he just gets in the ring and he's immediately eliminated by Lee. So, but yeah, that was the primary structure for the well-run town comedy. So, like, well, here's the Big Show. And yeah, so I wanted to stack it towards the end because I like the Rumble idea of like one guy standing in the ring for a while and just taking on all comers from there before it then starts piling up towards the end. I pretty much took the same sort of formula for the 2020 Rumble because I just thought it was really well booked, that Rumble, and just taking my own approach to it in certain aspects.
I mean, they've had all these different Royal Rumbles in the past. You can merge concepts. So you didn't do the full start off number 1, go to number 16, but you took inspiration for it and kind of bounced around between that and like the way that like some of the other people have done to run through and eliminate a lot of people types.
Yeah, almost started with the idea of like almost trying to deliberately make the start of the Rumble disappointing. With the people in, just so when Goldberg's in, it's like, okay, now we're starting that kind of. So okay, we've had these people in, and it's like, okay, none of these people in, so let's have the guy come in and clear house and all of them. So you almost like get a bigger sense of, okay, this guy's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this Rumble. He's twice. So yeah, like.
Didn't you like West Eliminations 10 Goldberg, Iron Man Goldberg, shortest time Curtis Axel.